Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to WhatMap, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Well, today we have got a very accomplished vanilla map. It's so well done. I really actually genuinely did not expect anything to the standards we've got today. Yes, sure, the top level creators would have gone an extra 2 or 3 levels. I appreciate that. But for a creator that we've only done once before, that was last Saturday, do check out that review. They have done a very fine task indeed. It's a fantasy map, which is bordering on realistic in some ways. It's a believable fantasy. We'll go with that. It's a believable fantasy map with fantasy details put in there which aren't stupidly overplayed, which is sometimes what we see. I mean, stupidly overplayed can look amazing, but sometimes just being very subtle, and because we're talking vanilla map, subtlety is important. Now, there is one other thing that is very important, and regulars will already know that it's a daily reminder. Here's one. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Wisp Forest by Artifis, and you know what? I love the name. I mean, the thumbnail's not exciting, but the name is right on point for this particular map. Let's have a look at that start square. Look at the swirly forests. Subtle, but clean. I like it. We've got terrain heights that are buildable in the middle of the map, plus a plateau on the left and the plateau over on the right, and some mud flats, and we've got resources that are accessible and fun as well, which is all good. And then if you have Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, we've got most of the fishies there as well. I mean, seriously, we are winning. Off to the workshop. What do we need? Look at that. Look at the imagery. I mean, wow. Okay, you've taken some time there. And you know what? The wow carries across. We'll be using the Vanilla Boreal theme, the realistic 1.2 LUT. Nicely little short description there that doesn't do anything it doesn't need to, and a quick shout out to Bob. Just say hello to Bob. Okay, now down to ground level. We have got a fairly ordinary looking Boreal map, and yeah, we are talking 100% vanilla. There are a few trees in here that a few of you may not recognize, but they are part of the free upload from the content creator from Mr. Maison, and they of course are great trees. So it's a fairly recently made map because we have got new vanilla trees plopped in here as well. It's one of these that just does everything very nicely without being quite perfectly cleaned up, and that, if anything, is the grumble with today's map. A few of you map snobs, a bit like me, hands up. Anybody here a map snob? Yeah, me too. Got my hand up. I've only had the webcam showing me this, but yes, map snobs will look at a couple of things and go, oh yeah, forget tut. Just forget it. When the map is as designed as cleanly as this, like here, this road, why is it bended? Why is it bended? Well, have a little look. Let's put the lines of terrain on and have a little look at the routes that this takes up the hill. And it is going up the hill smoothly and precisely and cleanly, and in a way that makes every little bit of sense. Credit for that as well. Anyway, we're heading across to one of the memes, and of course the memes mean that anybody playing BonBonBingo can check this one off, assuming you've got it on your card. Yes, everybody loves a big old bridge. Big old bridge, everybody loves it. Now, we have a few vanilla boulders in the water there. I haven't checked everywhere for clipping, because vanilla boulders and clipping are two things that don't go, well, water, they don't go together very well. So there's probably not found any, not looked for it. Probably a little bit of water glitching on the map here or there. There probably is. I would say, if I had to predict, I would say there's a few. Having said that, I've not gone looking for them because I was pretty much wowed by the entire map, and I was on a little bit of a time schedule for this particular episode. Unfortunately, it's some sort of map that can be reviewed fairly quickly, because It's vanilla. They've not gone to any extra levels in putting lots of extra fancy detail in. Oh, like this little here. Like, see how we've gouged a little bit into the cliff face, but we haven't got anything on the other side. Nothing in the middle. That feels like it should be. And people have been like docked points before from me from little things like that, but that one feels like it should be. That's all I'm saying, right? Anyway, so yes, it's one of those maps that doesn't have anything extra thrown into it. It's just basically a really nice design, and the money has gone into the design work of actually sitting down and going, how I think this should work is. And you'll see the mud flats a bit later on, and the mud flats, they're nice. It's a nice thing, and you can build on them. Of course you can build. It's just terrain mesh, isn't it? Of course you can build them. But they haven't been taken to the nth degree, and we've seen a few nth degree mud flats in fairly recent months. They haven't. They've just done it to enough degree. Start square intersection here. By the way, intersections are fine. I mean, they're slick, they're rounded off, because we're not using any DLCs or any workshop content. It means that we can't do any lane management here, lane mathematics. And we got a little bit of glitchy from whatever terrain mesh that we imported, the height map we imported. A little bit glitchy, lumpy bumps here and there along some of the coasts. And you'll spot one or two bits across the map. Here's your start square. How tempting is that? I've got to say, that it's what first map in a long while, which is a map that I would not normally play. I really wouldn't. Like it, lane mathematics, by the way. There you go. 3 lanes down to there. That could have been done a little bit better with a little bit of tweaking. There was a bit of a jinky janky in there as well. I saw it just then. Tiny little jinky janky on the ramp. But yeah, it's with Move It, those lane mergings could have been done a little bit more slickly. And there's a tree growing out the middle of a rock there. So it's, like I say, there's a few little detaily tweaks on here that could take it to the next level. But this, like I say, it's not a map I would play normally. But this map has intrigued me, and it's made me think of things. And it's made me think also, one of the things I was thinking, looking at the aesthetics of it, because we are talking 100% vanilla, apart from the LUT. Yes, I am using a custom LUT, and trust me, if you're not compared vanilla and custom LUTs, you'd be thanking me. Honestly, you'd be thanking me. But anyway, one of the things I'm looking at here is thinking, yeah, okay, right, we've gone vanilla, and all credits for the creator on making it look as good as they have in vanilla. Wonder what it would look like with some custom themes. And so that's something I'm going to be doing for the BonBon buddies. On this, it's not essential. In fact, it's not even recommended, because this is a creator who's designed the map around what you see. I'm wondering how it could look, especially when we get to see the mountains later on. You'll see the cliff and the water textures in the mountains are, I mean, they're fine, and it looks, again, it's all in the design work. But how could this look with some theme, a custom theme mix or something like that? So what I think in the next couple of weeks, at some point, I will do a What's Map Extra for the BonBon buddies on Patreon and YouTube membership. Where I'll spend some time, and I'm not going to do any editing or anything like that. Not going to do any cleaning up of any shorelines where we've got a little bit of glitching here and there. No point of that. What's the point of that? Anybody could do that. Let's have a look. As I've got well over 100. I mean about 100. I think it's 160. I can't remember now, but I've got a shoot ton of themes. I'll throw together a theme mix in What's Map Extra just to see how the thing could look. Come up with a few combinations. So yeah, if you're a follower, if you're a supporter of the channel, there'll be that to come as well. Of course, those supporters have already had a chance to see a few other What's Map Extras and get to see the island play in build as I'm going every now and then, dipping back into the island city build and producing that. Anyway, the rail, I mean, there's not too much to talk about. The rail is of the same sort of standards as the highways. It's good, it's clean, it's smart. There's a couple of slight elevation changes, like up onto that bridge there, which could have been a little bit smoother and a little bit flatter or slicker. But, again, nothing really to complain about. the general work is of a good standard, and Artifis clearly knows what they're doing, and that's about the best praise. The best praise that you'll get from BonBon is they kind of know what they're doing, don't they? That's a short section there without any categories. I don't know what the cause of that was, but again, I don't think there's anything that the creator could probably have done about that one. Probably, maybe. It might even be a mod issue, in which case it's my fault. It's always my fault. Blame BonBon. That's going to be my new slogan. Blame BonBon. Anyway, heading off into the hills, which means it's about time for an intermission, and we'll be right back after this brief message.
Everybody's favorite factories everywhere these days. Look, there's even one on the back of this hoodie. Want one for yourself? Then click the information button now. Come on, you know you want to.
Ah, yes, the merch store. More than just hoodies over there, t-shirts and stuff. And I will be moving the factory logo from not just the hoodie, where it's been stuck on the hoodie for the last year or so. We'll be doing some t-shirts and getting it on some mugs and stuff as well. Shipping routes. It's just this loop. It's a loop that goes a loop, and it does fine. I've got nothing to say about the loop, really. What's there to say about this loop? Absolutely nothing. Managed to fill 30 seconds though, didn't I? Water flow. We've got what looks like it's going to be a strong water flow because of the river system we've got. It's a little bit weak in places. Like, see how the river's just struggling a little bit here. It's okay, but only just. It's borderline. It's a borderline river. Speaking of borderlines, you can see we are just about to hit the border line here, the edge of the start square. We are in the start square here, and there's just about enough water flow at that end of the start square to make that work for a pumping and drawing game. Okay, so we've got these islands for building on there. An interesting design again. This isn't the start square, but the start square intersections on an island. And that looks pretty buildable too. And then this little peninsula thing coming out here with the swirly forests, that's your start square. And that looks pretty buildable as well. The mud flats, I feel, probably could use a little bit more work to make them just a little bit more interesting. But they're interesting already. So how much, and yeah, at what point do you go from taking what we've got so far and then polishing it to a 5-star creator level of a map? I've got a feeling this sort of map that one of those 5-star creators are going to say, do you know what, I'm going to do this. Lots of buildable space up here as well. Then you've got those beautiful, look at the mountains. Just look at the shapes of these mountains. They are phenomenal. Absolutely love them. And then you've got a plateau over here as well, which overlooks the start square and will give you a potential for something else as well. Just, there is a lot of ways to take on this map. A lot of ways. The rivers up here, again, they look a little like they struggle a little bit with a little bit of lumpy water. It's hard though. Water is not designed to be contained and thin like this one. And so this is probably about the best that they were going to do. It was a bit of a challenge doing that, but I'm glad they did, because it would have probably looked would it look better without water? I don't actually know. Maybe some spawn points about halfway down. Maybe it's something else for me to play about with What Map Extra. Anyway, back to the start square. In the Wispy Forest, we've got a Stairway to Heaven. It's the JP Staircase by newp. And these are great. 2 versions, one with the planters on the side and one without. Just look at the quality. Now, factoids because factoids, as we're talking about Wisp. How about Willow the Wisp? Is a British cartoon series originally produced in 1981 by the BBC and narrated by the legendary Kenneth Williams. Oh, hello. Worst impression ever. It became popular with children and adults as it bridged the gap between the end of the weekday children's programming and the early evening news. A second series was produced in 2005. Kenneth Williams provided the voices for all of the characters. The principal character, Willow the Wisp, was a blue floating creature drawn as a caricature of Williams himself. There was also Arthur the Caterpillar, a gruffy cockney, Mavis Cruet, a plump, clumsy fairy, and Evil Edna. Evil Edna in the form of a walking, talking television set who could zap people with her aerials. The second series wasn't narrated by Williams because I believe he passed by them. JP Staircase by newp. I love that. I think we'll be using that a lot. I mean, a lot. It's going to get a lot of subscribers, that. A lot. Anyway, are you still here? Good, good, good. Get active, get busy, and get voting on this map. Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple, or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, it's not been pushed to the nth level, but the design of this map is amazing. It works so well on the limited amount of space that we've got. It works so well. I would have been tempted to cram more in, and I think I've been wrong to do so if I'd done that. So it doesn't really shine because of vanilla, 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 but do you know what? It's worth a 4th star. I'm going at bottom end of 4 stars. Detailing, it's not really too much wrong with it. There's nothing really super right with it. Lots of credit to be given for the forests. He's done a great job with the forests. I think I can only go for a high end of 3 stars though, because it needs a bit of cleaning up. Gameplay potential, ooh, yes please. Yes please indeedy. It needs a bit of cleaning up, which is going to take a little away from it, and it won't be to everybody's taste. But I think we're going into 4 stars. Let's go medium low 4 stars. Liking it. In fact, Wisp Forest by Artifis, despite only being about that line there, do you know, I think I want to play it. Personal BonBonB seal of approval. I want to play it. Looks like a lot of fun to be had. Just got to find the time to have fun. I haven't even finished building on my map yet. But yes, anyway, well done, Artifis. Keep them coming. You clearly know what you're doing. You clearly do. Anyway, yes, thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking, and for subscribing. I've been BonBonB, but I'm off now. I'm off for a day. We're back on Monday with more What's Map. Chart show tomorrow, and if you're still here, I'll prove it. You're part of the 20 now elite. Use the word of the day in the comments. Score yourself some population points just for fun, and I'll have a good weekend. Bye.